Hi, welcome back. I'm Janelle with Bring Junkin New, and this is the next episode of a series I'm referring to as Hold Me to the Hoard. Over the summer, I've been collecting in my dining room a large pile of really cool vintage finds that I've collected at flea markets, yard sales, estate sales, thrift stores, a couple trash piles. And what I'll be doing today is showcasing some of those finds for you, giving you an idea of what I paid for them and my best guess at what I think I might be able to collect for them either on my eBay page or through my Etsy shop. So the link to both of those places, as well as my Instagram and Facebook, are down in the description if you know where to find that. If you scroll down, and then I think you have to click a down arrow, it'll expand a little description and provide those links for you. Also, probably right about there, if you're in full screen mode, there's a little red box. If you click on that, you can subscribe and get an alert and a message the next time I post a video and every time after that I post a video, so you don't miss anything. So I tried to pick some of my favorite things. My videos have been running a little long and I get bored editing them, so I'm figuring you're getting bored watching them. So instead of showing you everything in the boxes, I picked my favorites. Everything in the boxes pretty much will get listed, but I'm only going to showcase for you the stuff that I love the most. So today I'm going to start with, I have a collection of Harlequin that I picked up, Harlequin dishes that I picked up at an American Rescue Workers shop, which is a thrift store. I think American Rescue Workers shops are regional. I don't think every town has one, but my hometown does. And so whenever I'm home, I always go, and they usually have like half price everything on the last Saturday of the month, and I always tend to be home on that Saturday, lucky me. So I always swing by, and they had a really large set of Harlequin, and I picked my favorite pieces. I didn't get all of it. I'm kind of kicking myself now because they had a lot of the gray, and I didn't realize the gray was kind of, seems to be a little sought after. It seems you get better prices for the gray stuff. But I picked up a few random things. So first I have this set of creamer and sugar bowl, unfortunately without the lid. But for those that don't know, Harlequin is like the, it's like a generic knockoff version made by Homer Laughlin of Fiesta ware. So the Fiesta ware was the more heavy duty pottery style dish sets. This Harlequin is a little, like, it's lighter weight, it's not quite as heavy duty. And I guess it's like the generic version, but it's usually in similar colors. You can compare it to the colors in the background here. So a lot of people that collect Fiesta also collect the Harlequin because we can expand our collection and have more color represented at lower prices and kind of like fill our cabinets. So I have some Harlequin mixed in my collection. This is a creamer and a sugar bowl. The sugar bowl is missing the lid. The creamer is intact. There are no major chips, no major cracks, well, no cracks at all, no chips at all. Maybe a couple little flea bites on the bottom of this creamer. These were in the store listed $4.99, but I paid half price, so I paid $2.50 a piece. And together, these two pieces probably go for like $15 or $18 because we're missing the lid, and yellow is a pretty popular color, but still a fun find, especially if you're a collector, and these are two things you've been looking for. Some people also collect these to plant like succulents and use as planters, so that's always an option as well. So we have that set, and then we have some odds and ends. I have a few teacups. So I have this green color in Fiesta ware. This is referred to either as the shamrock or the medium green. I'm not sure how they refer to it on Harlequin. I don't know if it's just green or dark green. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. We have this one, which is a lighter, you can see the difference there, lighter turquoise. And this one has some condition issues. One is there's like a chip at the top that almost looks like it was from manufacturing, but also, and you can see it on the camera, that's not light glare. That's like some crazy glazing. So Harlequin was known to be like less, oh gosh, why can't I? A lower quality dish set. And so like they often had missing glaze, spots of missing glaze, or uneven glaze, like you can see here. That's an example of that. So they weren't as particular about their Harlequin as they were about their Fiesta. So I have these two different shades of green, and then I also have this awesome periwinkle color. So I think in Fiesta this is referred to as the cornflower. Well, the modern version is the cornflower. And so there's that cool color. I like those together. Those, well, of course I do. I got a whole bunch of it in the background, but I like those colors together. Very cool. And then I found, which I have not ever seen, couldn't remember ever having seen these before, but these are, they call them double egg cups. So they're egg cups that you would sit like a hard-boiled egg in. They're double for some reason. They seem pretty big to receive an egg. Like the egg would like fall down inside. But when I looked online, they were sitting this way and the egg was in this part. I assumed they should go like this because this is where the glaze is finished up here, and this is not finished. So I don't believe this is the proper way to use or display it. I do believe this is the intended way. And I don't know if I'm convinced that they're egg cups. They look more like shot glasses to me. Or like little juice cups maybe. I don't know, I'm gonna look some more. But I did find prices all over the place from like $10 to like $55 a piece for these. And I think it was dependent on condition and color. Both these are in pretty good condition. There's no chips, no cracks. Glaze seems pretty good, but here's another example of that missing glaze. You can see there's just a spot where there is none. These were both listed at $4.99 as well. I got them on half price day, so they were $2.50 each. But cool additions and just unique. I hadn't seen those before, and I've seen quite a bit of this stuff. Doesn't mean I'm an expert and I've seen it all, but I just was surprised by them. I also have a collection of tins and boxes that came from various places. These are all metal tins, and I got all of them because I really loved the graphics on them. So this one I paid $1 for. Sorry, I'm pulling that yucky price tag off. I paid $1 for this one. I could probably expect to get like 8 or 10, mostly because of the color and the image. So really pretty pinks and purples and yellow pansies in the pottery. Based on the style of pot that's on there, I'm guessing that this was maybe like between 1930s or 1950s. And it was a bluebird toffee tin made in England. So that was a little toffee tin. Whoops, upside down. Little toffee tin. I love the colors on that. Would be cute on a dresser or on a shelf. And then I have this one. It's called, it actually once said OXO cubes on it in that black and red design. OXO cubes dissolve at once. Sounds like some bullion or like bullion cubes maybe, and that's the inside graphic, so I imagine it was similar on the other side. On the back it says keep in a cool, dry place, and then it did have directions, but it's worn. I paid $1 for this. I could probably list it for, again, about 8. It does have lots of paint conditions, but I liked that the box was hinged. So it's a hinged box. The lid works pretty good, and I just liked how the metal was folded and bent around. It's kind of one piece. There's no seam there, which is kind of neat. It is rusty inside. There's a little bit of dirt, but it's a cool box, especially if you have like a red kitchen. That'd be nice for display. And I'll probably list that for around 8. And then this tin is an old candy box. This lid doesn't fit quite as beautifully because there are like some bends in it. But I absolutely loved the color and the design on this. So it reminds me of the Pennsylvania Dutch. Oh, what do they call those? Oh, I hate when I have a brain fart. The Pennsylvania Dutch. Oh, I can't think of them. Anyway, it reminds me of a Pennsylvania Dutch design, or like an old quilt, or I don't know. I just love it. And it has floral design on the sides as well. It is New York, and it's listed as an Arden Finest Hand Candies Royal Selection. So a New York candy company, but very cool design. This would look great on a shelf in a kitchen or in a dining room. Up atop, on top of your cupboards, you know, that space between the top of your cupboard and the ceiling would look awesome up there because it's such a bold image and it's so bright and the color's so good. See, even when I go far back, it still looks awesome. So I love that one. But again, the lid's a little wonky on this one because the tin's a little bit bent, so it doesn't line up perfectly. It closes, it can't be trusted to stay closed if it gets bumped or moved around. But I loved the paint on that. And there is some paint wear. some scratches. There's some corrosion. The metal's kind of ick, but it's very cool. Very cool, nice display piece. I'll probably list that one around 12, maybe 15. I haven't done a lot of research on that one yet. Next up, I love these little novelty plates from the 1950s. Like the one that has the apology, and then there are friendship ones. This one is about the kitchen. I paid $2 for this. And it has gold. Sorry, the sticker's still stuck fast. These are not for use. These are for display and decoration. But it's got the metallic gold painted trim. And then it has a little verse. It says, "This kitchen is closed due to illness. I'm sick of cooking." And the image is of a kitchen with a little window and curtain and the sink full of water and the coffee pot and some fruits and vegetables. And then there's a little picture right here hanging on the wall that says "Home Sweet Home." On the back, there are some chips here that don't really matter because it's on the back and it's intended to hang on the wall. So you don't really have to worry about that too much. And then there's already a wire there and it hangs as decoration. So again, it's a novelty plate. It's not for eating off of, but I love these. And I usually pick them up. I find them a lot at the thrift stores. People don't seem too interested in them, but they go for like $8. And this one I got for $2, but probably less because I can't imagine I paid $2 for it. So I probably paid more like $1. Probably got it half price or something like that. But I usually pick these up. I list them anywhere from like 8 to 15, depending on what the verse is and what the images are and how many of them there are out in the world and in the universe. So cool little 1950s deco. And while we're on plates, I have this little teensy weensy little tiny plate. This is a transfer on here with purple flowers and little green leaves. And you can see there is some gold painted trim around the edge, gold metallic. And then there's also some embossed design. It's kind of hard to show you here. Let me see if I can get, you can see like where this, right here, right where the scallop ends, there's like a floral embossed design. And that's all the way around. You can see a little bit. It's definitely easier to see in person than it is on that camera. But it's kind of like a scroll floral design. Based on the tiny size, was meant for the table. And probably either collected used tea bags or like fish bones. Yes, they had dishes for things like fish bones. So a lot of times they're actually shaped like fish, but this could have been for that purpose. Back in the day, they used ceramics and pottery to create very specific dishes that filled very specific roles. Even like the little ceramic shakers that hold pins with all the little holes in the top, and you turn it and shake it to get a pin out. They had hair receivers. There were little bowls with holes in the top where you brushed your hair and then you pulled the hair out of your brush and would stick it in the hair receiver on your vanity. And so they had, you know, pottery and dishes that were meant to fill very, very specific roles. I don't know what the exact role of this is, but I'm gonna guess based on the size that it was either for like fish bones or for tea bags. But would be really cute sitting like on your windowsill above your sink. So when you're washing dishes, you can take your rings off and sit them on there and keep them safe. End table on a dresser to serve the same purpose. So would be really cute in any of those capacities or places. So there's that little plate. So next up, I have this adorable little planter. So it reads, it says Baby's Story. It's got these embossed flowers, an adorable little baby girl. It is kind of hard to see because the colors are so pastel and such light shades, but the flowers are actually in like baby green, sorry my voice, baby green, blue, and pinks. Embossed face. There aren't any chips, there's no major boo-boos, except for a little spot of glaze on her cheek, which is going to be virtually impossible for me to show. Oh, you can see it a little bit there on this camera, but there's a little spot of glaze missing. I cannot tell if it's from manufacturing or if it's got chipped off. There's lots of crazing, so the clear glaze that covers all of the color and all of the shape is crackled. And then on the end, how cute is this? Produced by Mom and Pop. And then on this end shows texture to resemble the pages of a book. So it's meant to look like a baby book. And then you plant the things or put the flowers inside. Would be really cute. Planted with succulents would make a really nice baby shower gift or a new baby gift. Also, just for the vintage nursery or any baby nursery, baby girl nursery. Very, very cute and in good shape. So this is like 1950s. I paid $1.49 because there's the tag. I think I picked it up at a yard sale, and I would list it probably for about 15 on that. All right, next up, continuing with the ceramics, I've got some cats. I know y'all love the cats. So the first one I have is this yellow and white striped cat. The stripes are neat in that they aren't like a hard line paint. It looks more like an airbrush. And then it's got this pink boa and these bright blue startled looking eyes. He's pretty kitschy, pretty funky. He is marked Japan on the back. He does have maybe some little flea bites. I can't tell if they're chips or if it's, I'm not sure, but maybe some little flea bites on his ears, but his ears are there. His paw is intact. His tail's in good shape. So overall, good shape. Excuse me. He's hollow, or she. Very cute, very kitschy. Those eyes are hilarious. They're like beer stuck in headlight like eyes. I like his crazy eyes, or her crazy eyes. And then other little kitties. So this one is probably, I think this is gonna be left in, but I haven't verified yet. I need to do some research, but it's a little blue ceramic basket with fur around the edge, and then this little pink and brown adorable cat. Look at that face. Would you look at that face? I don't love cats, but I like this one. And then on the bottom, the reason I say that I think that it is left in is because on the bottom, it's marked copyright. It's got the C with the circle, 1959. And it is very similar and reminiscent of the date stamps that are on some Lefton pieces, especially Lefton Holt Howard. So the Holt Howard pieces usually have a date stamp on the bottom. And this looks like, well, it's hard to see in the camera, but it looks like one of those stamps. It's like the same font, the same size. So I'm gonna guess that this is Lefton, but I would have to do some more research to verify. But there's a little kitty in a fur basket. And then in the back, you can see his little butt down in there. I love that. You can see him actually standing. So it's not just a head applied to the end. There's actually a whole body of a kitty standing in there. And there's some space, so you could put things in there. Maybe if you have it on your nightstand, you could put your rings and things in there. I don't know. I don't know if they really used them for storage. I guess if you're a sewer, you could throw your pins in there. So I don't know if they actually used these for... there's some extra fur in there, I'm not sure about. But I don't know. I don't know if they actually, if these had a use or if they were strictly decorative. Maybe I'll find that in my research. Or if you know, you can add it in the comments down below, and I would be super appreciative, because one of my other goals in making these videos is to kind of try and build community around this stuff that we love, and for us to share information. So if you know more about that little kitty or anything else in the video, feel free to share it down there in the comments. I absolutely love this. I'm gonna guess that this is like maybe like early 1900s based on all of it. It's made in Germany. It's marked number 52. There's the mark. It seems like it could be a child's cup. Doesn't really seem like an adult coffee cup, but I mean, our perception of coffee cup is definitely different now than it was back then. But this one has an amazing little image. I'm about to show you up close, but it's called the Regatta. It's titled the Regatta, and it's printed on here. It is a transfer. It's not hand painted, but the picture depicts a boy and a girl in a bathroom where there's a wooden floor. So that would be like Victorian, or near that. A little bathtub, and they're making little paper boats and dropping them in the bathtub. so you can see, sort of see. It's not really, the zoom isn't really gonna focus super well, but there is the bathtub with the little paper boats, and she has paper in her hand folding it, and he's got, looks like a little hat made out of paper. He's pointing at her, and then it says the regatta at the bottom. Really, really cute. I love the image on this. I always love things that depict children. The bottom might have some flea bites around the bottom, or it could be manufacturing and glazing issues. I can't really see closely enough. But around the top, no chips. I think there used to be like there are remnants still of a gold trim around the rim. It's kind of hard to see in the video there. But again, that image is really adorable. It is Victorian kids making paper boats and throwing them in the bathtub. I like that. I also like when I see kids that are getting into mischief, because I was a kid like that, and I appreciate knowing that there are other kids that were like that. And then lastly, my favorite thing, last thing on our list is this Christmas cigar box. So my short research tells me that this is probably late 1800s, like 1880, 1870, 1890 maybe. But this was a gift box of cigars, and it's made of wood. It has these really excellent, they look like hand-forged little hinges with those tiny, tiny nails. It has tiny nails holding it together. The box opens, and it would have held cigars inside. On the outside, and this is going to be tough to show on camera, on the outside, there we go, there is etching or an engraving of tree branches and leaves with birds. And then it also says, hopefully you can see that, it also says Merry Christmas, there we go, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, with the etching of the leaves and the limbs and the bird. And then there's a lithograph. This is paper applied, and it's not in the best shape. You can see the white spots are actually where it's worn away, but this is a lithograph of a woman. And then on the end it says Merry Christmas, because it was a gift box of cigars. And then when you open it, the image on the inside's even better, and it could be displayed this way, which I really, really like, is the same etching, now with gold. So it looks like it is like gold embossed or painted. And then around the lithograph, there's a lithograph, another lithograph of a woman. Around that is more gold paint. And then it also says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So the inside image is really similar to what's on the outside, but because this is inside, it's been protected. It also has the gold paint, which makes the image pop more. So you can see that. Very pretty. And then on the bottom, it says Maduro, which I understand to be a brand of cigar. So it's listed on there, and then it's got some other numbers and letters, which I haven't quite figured out yet. But my understanding, again, that this is late 1800s cigar holiday gift box. There are not a lot out there. I've seen, in my really quick research, I saw prices that ranged from $40 to $300. So I don't know where this guy will land, or this girl, or these ladies, but I'll need to look into it some more. But I love the style of the box. I love that it's wood and not paper. I love the images. I love the font. The font really says like an earlier time. Just a really cool little wooden box that I found in a thrift store. So there is that. And that brings us to the end of our haul for today. I hope you saw some stuff that interested you and that you liked. And if you did, again, you can go down in the description and find my Etsy and eBay links. You can also follow me on Instagram. Since the holiday season is fast approaching, I typically run sales from November or October, late October through January and sometimes even into February on holiday items. So if you're interested in coupon codes and finding out when those sales are taking place and when things are being discounted, then you'll want to follow me on Instagram because that's where I usually post those codes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.